September 1952. The world's most famous entertainer boards a ship in New York Harbor. He doesn't know it yet, but he will never set foot in America again. The FBI has been watching him for 30 years, and now they're ready to make their move. This is the story of how Charlie Chaplin, the man who made the world laugh, became the enemy of the United States government. Before he was in exile, he was an icon. Born in the slums of London in 1889, Charles Spencer Chaplin knew poverty, hunger, and heartbreak before he was 10 years old. His father died of alcoholism. His mother was institutionalized. He performed on street corners just to survive. But he had a gift. By 1914, Chaplin arrived in America, and within months, he invented a character that would change cinema forever: the Little Tramp. Baggy pants, a bowler hat, a cane, and that unforgettable walk. He wasn't just a comedian, he was the comedian. His films crossed language barriers. His face was recognized in every corner of the earth. By the 1920s, Charlie Chaplin was the biggest star in the world, and one of the richest. But what made him beloved wasn't just the laughter, it was the heart. Behind the slapstick was something deeper: empathy for the underdog, the poor, the forgotten. And that empathy would eventually destroy him. By the 1930s, Chaplin wasn't just an entertainer, he was untouchable. City Lights, Modern Times, The Great Dictator. Films that made audiences cry, think, and question. He mocked industrialization. He satirized fascism. He gave voice to the voiceless. To the public, he was a genius, a humanitarian, a symbol of the American dream. But to some in Washington, he was something else. Because Charlie Chaplin never became an American citizen, he criticized capitalism. He made a film mocking Hitler before it was politically safe to do so. And in the 1940s, as paranoia swept through Hollywood, whispers began: communist sympathizer. The FBI opened a file on him in 1922. By the 1940s, it was over 2,000 pages long. J. Edgar Hoover, the director of the FBI, became obsessed. He wanted Chaplin gone, and he would use everything in his power to make it happen. But first, they needed a scandal. 1943, a young actress named Joan Barry claimed Chaplin was the father of her child. The case went to trial. Blood tests proved he wasn't the father, but the jury convicted him anyway. It didn't matter that science was on his side. The media frenzy had already done its job. Chaplin was painted as a predator, a manipulator, a moral degenerate. Hoover used the case to push the narrative. Chaplin was a threat to American values. Then came the political attacks. Conservative groups accused him of communist sympathies. His films were called propaganda. Chaplin never joined the Communist Party, but he didn't have to. He'd made the mistake of having opinions, of speaking out, of refusing to play along. In 1947, during the Red Scare, his name was everywhere. The House Un-American Activities Committee wanted him to testify. Protesters picketed his films. Theaters refused to show them, but Chaplin refused to back down. He said, "I am not a communist, I am a peacemonger." It wasn't enough. By 1952, Chaplin had lived in America for 40 years. He'd built his career there, his fortune, his legacy. But he'd never become a citizen. He always felt like a citizen of the world, and that would be his undoing. In September of that year, Chaplin boarded the RMS Queen Elizabeth with his wife Una and their children. They were sailing to London for the premiere of his new film, Limelight. 2 days into the voyage, a telegram arrived. The message was clear: if you return to America, you will be interrogated. You will be investigated. You will prove your loyalty, or you will be deported. Chaplin was 63 years old. He'd given America some of its greatest art, and now the country was telling him, "You are not welcome here." He made a decision. He would never return. Chaplin settled in Switzerland. He sent Una back to the United States to liquidate his assets. She sold his studio, his home, everything. For the next 20 years, Chaplin lived in exile. He continued to make films, but they were quieter now, more reflective.
This big-hearted nation has already demonstrated its noble generosity to those who come to seek a refuge from tyranny.
A King in New York, released in 1957, was a bitter satire of McCarthyism and the country that rejected him. It wasn't shown in the US until 1973. Hollywood moved on. The silent era was ancient history. The Little Tramp became a nostalgic relic, a figure from a distant, simpler time. But Chaplin didn't fade quietly. He raised his children. He composed music. He wrote his autobiography. And he waited. The question lingered. Would America ever forgive him? Would he ever forgive America? 1972, 20 years after his exile, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences invited Charlie Chaplin back to Los Angeles to receive an honorary Oscar. It was a gesture of reconciliation, a quiet apology. Chaplin hesitated, but finally he agreed. When he stepped onto the stage at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, the audience rose to their feet. The applause lasted 12 minutes, the longest standing ovation in Oscar history. Chaplin stood there, tears in his eyes, overwhelmed. He was 83 years old, and for the first time in 2 decades, he was home. He never spoke publicly about the FBI, about Hoover, about the betrayal. He simply said,
"And words seem so futile, so feeble. I can only say that thank you for the honor of inviting me here, and oh, you're wonderful, sweet people. Thank you."
He returned to Switzerland shortly after. On Christmas Day, 1977, Charlie Chaplin passed away peacefully in his sleep.
Charlie Chaplin died today at his home in Switzerland. The great comedian was 88, and his doctors said there really was no specific cause. You can say he died of old age, the doctors told reporters. There are very few of us, from small children to the very old, whose lives were not in some way touched by the genius of this comedian.
But his legacy, what America tried so hard to erase, endured. Today, Chaplin is remembered as one of the greatest artists in cinematic history. His films are studied in universities. His image is iconic. The FBI file that once condemned him is now a symbol of government overreach and paranoia. The man they called an enemy became immortal. Charlie Chaplin's story isn't just about one man. It's about what happens when fear overtakes reason, when power punishes dissent, when a country turns on the very people who helped define it. He made us laugh. He made us think. And for that, he was exiled. But he never stopped creating, never stopped believing in humanity. In the end, history didn't remember the accusations. It remembered the art. So here's the question. If someone stood up for what they believed in today, would we stand with them? Or would we be the ones holding the pitchforks? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to hear more stories like this, stories Hollywood doesn't want you to know, there's more waiting for you.